Let's tighten up our resume using some fun digital tools. I'm going to open up one of my favorite AI assistants, Jasper. And when I log in using Google Sign On, there's a couple of things that I want to show you. We'll modify my resume, and then we'll also use open skills to optimize the skills and keywords that appear on that resume. All right, now when I go in here to Jasper, it's going to provide me with a few templates. And I also want to show you here the resume that we'll be optimizing. Normally it's 2 pages, but as you can see, when I added this paragraph, it spills over. Okay, so back to Jasper, you'll see there's a number of pre-designed templates, and these are just some really cool prompts that the Jasper team designed that I can use to aid me in my journey. Now, today I want to use a blank document template, and this is called Boss Mode. And Boss Mode is a lot of fun. It's not like one of these pre-designed templates, but it does provide me a great deal of flexibility. And I want to be able to show you when I click in here, I'm going to use the option on the left, but I want to be able to show you if I do a basic copy paste, how I can build this content deliverable, in which case this is my resume, but build it dynamically while interacting with the bot, where I'm providing command line prompts. Okay, so you'll notice that the results are going to be integrated back into this document instead of like a serial back and forth you might be more used to with a UI such as what you see in ChatGPT or Bard. Now, it broke my formatting, but that's totally fine. I just want to have that context, and I use the medium command, so you can size the results after you enter it in with the bot. And another way that I like to get to my goal is when I'm right inside of Gmail. Now, this is something really cool about Jasper. So if you happen to be in the flow of work inside Gmail, you don't want to context switch, notice when I hit the arrow, I can continue writing with Jasper, right? So you see it actually takes this information from above and provides me with that summary of the above 2 paragraphs, all right? And I just see this as being, a whole lot less stressful than trying to come up with all of this various text from scratch, right? We've got a lot going on. We're multitasking. What I really enjoy about this Jasper Chrome extension is not having to stay inside of that particular tool, right? I can innovate. I can generate content in the flow of work. Now, so I wanted to be able to bring this thing down to 1 page and get that word count in the first or the most recent experience down to something like 50 to 60 words. And you see that I was able to do that. And there's one more thing I want to show before we wrap up, and that is the skills extractor. All right, so I'm going to copy and then paste my resume here, and voila. These are the various skills the extractor pulled from my resume. All right, so workflow management is one that I could highlight. Here's learning strategies. That's another skill. So these are all of the various skills that on the right that I can enhance in terms of the verbiage, the words, the phrasing that I'm using. The reason this is pretty important is being able to align, right, with the skills in the market. So I've just clicked into one of those skills. This is called a rich skills descriptor. Now on each of these pages, this one doesn't necessarily have enough data, which is totally fine. We're going to explore the ability to align and speak speak the language of skills with potential employers is a powerful advantage. All right, so what we might do, let's click workflow management. That's one I like, and I also like workflow automation as well. But let's just explore and see. All right, sometimes, and I'm doing this because I want you all to see what some of the potential results are. So notice with workflow automation, it's giving me a summary page and providing that insight into whether there's rising or declining demand. And we saw that we could also use operational efficiency. Let's do that one. And so you see, again, we get that summary page, and it's something to keep in mind considering those the way that your resume maps to market demand. You can even click in to some of the job roles just to get a sense of how do employers use this skill. You may or may not want to align with a seasonal role, right? And so just considering the ways that one skill may be more commonly used by a particular employer or for a certain role, it just gives you the opportunity to more tightly align your resume with the language of skills in the market. All right. So I'm also going to show you here in the resources another of my favorite tools on the lightcast.io site. And this is the skills library. Now here we can do a little bit more of a top down instead of a copy paste where we go bottom up. We're just going to type in the skill and explore to see what auto completes. And you notice it's just a slight tweak or pivot on workflow management, and there was slightly higher demand, right? It's not a big deal, right? Whether you use workflow automation or workflow management, depending on what your focus is. But for me, I was perfectly comfortable with using this particular skill that happened to have a slightly higher uptick in demand. And that's why this exercise is just not a bad idea. All right, so we're going to pivot and go with workflow automation. And just so everyone's clear on the site and the names of these tools, it's lightcast.io. So we've got the skills library, and the first tool that I showed you all was the skills extractor. That's the one where you can paste in your resume, right? So super cool stuff. What I want to do is make sure that I now integrate these various skills into my resume. And what's so fun is through a combination of just 3 simple tools, Jasper AI, the open skills tools, and my handy Jasper.ai Chrome extension, I've quickly optimized my resume. And I'm going to just move through the resume and do a similar exercise where I use bold formatting to highlight the key skills I want decision makers to focus on. So I wish you well in your search and invite you to continue to join me for these skills, trends, insights. So